Tyrion Lannister is a figure whose wit, intelligence, and resilience have made him one of the most beloved characters in the realm of fantasy literature. Tyrion, the youngest child of Tywin Lannister, is a dwarf. This stature, in a world that prizes physical prowess, could have been a crippling disadvantage. Yet, Tyrion uses his quick wit and sharp intellect to navigate the prejudice he faces, turning what could have been a weakness into one of his greatest strengths. Before we get into Tyrion's journey, a word of caution. Spoilers ahead for both the Game of Thrones series and the A Song of Ice and Fire books. So if you've yet to experience the epic tale spun by George R.R. Martin, or its television adaptation, you might want to tread lightly. But Tyrion's journey is not just about overcoming prejudice. It's a saga that involves political intrigue, alliances with hill tribes, battles, betrayals, and a constant struggle for acceptance and respect. Each step of his journey showcases his strategic acumen and resilience, his ability to adapt and survive in a world that is often hostile to him. Peter Dinklage portrayed Tyrion exceptionally well, capturing his charm, intelligence, wit, and overall character. However, the only drawback is that Dinklage is conventionally attractive, whereas Tyrion's ugliness and monstrosity are crucial in grasping why he faced the world's prejudice to such an extent. The book series introduces us to Tyrion Lannister as a complex character with shades of darkness beneath his witty and sardonic exterior. Author George R.R. Martin hinted at Tyrion's villainous nature in an interview before the release of A Clash of Kings, setting the stage for a more morally ambiguous Tyrion than initially perceived. In the books, Tyrion's darker side emerges gradually, leading to nihilism and self-loathing by the time we reach A Dance with Dragons. This darker version of Tyrion is conspicuously absent in the television adaptation, resulting in significant changes to his character arc. The initial seasons of Game of Thrones faithfully captured Tyrion's essence from the books, his witty, pragmatic, and at times heroic portrayal aligned with the source material. Crucial character flaws and darker deeds from the books were often omitted or altered. One notable instance is Tyrion's political power play as Hand of the King in Season 2. While the show depicted it heroically, the books presented a more ambiguous and power-hungry side of Tyrion, revealing his love for the Game of Thrones. While the books benefit from revealing Tyrion's inner thoughts, the show could have conveyed his less favorable intentions through dialogue. The Season 4 finale marked a turning point in Game of Thrones, especially in Tyrion Lannister's storyline. In particular, the omission of a crucial revelation known as the Tysha reveal had lasting consequences that echoed throughout the series. For fans of George R.R. Martin's books, this omission was not just a minor detail, it fundamentally altered the trajectory of Tyrion's character. In the books, Tyrion's backstory involves a traumatic incident with Tysha, a peasant girl he married in secret at the age of 13. The show touched on this dark history in Season 1, highlighting Tyrion's troubled relationships with women. However, the pivotal Tysha reveal was omitted in Season 4, leading to significant deviations from the source material. The Tysha reveal in the books disclosed that Tysha was not a prostitute, as Tyrion had been led to believe. Instead, she genuinely loved him for who he was. This revelation intensified an already horrifying situation, showcasing the cruelty of Tyrion's father, Tywin, and brother Jaime. The emotional impact of this revelation was profound, propelling Tyrion toward a dark and vengeful path. Without divulging all the details, Tywin involved a 13-year-old Tyrion in actions that would darken any soul. The decision to omit the Tysha reveal became clearer in subsequent scenes, especially when Tyrion killed Shae in self-defense rather than the cold-blooded murder depicted in the novels. It appears that the showrunners aimed to portray Tyrion as a good guy, diverging from the darker path he takes in the books. In the books, Tyrion's character arc hints at a villainous role, contrasting with the more heroic path taken by show Tyrion. The omission of the Tysha reveal led to a watered-down portrayal of Tyrion in the later seasons. His once morally ambiguous nature was gradually replaced with a simplified desire for unity and a genuine concern for Daenerys. The show's attempt to maintain Tyrion as a fundamentally good character led to inconsistencies in the narrative. Tyrion's advice to Daenerys became inexplicably flawed, contributing to the rushed and unconvincing nature of Daenerys' downfall in Season 8. The repercussions extended beyond Tyrion's character, impacting the overall quality of the final seasons. adapting the expansive material from A Feast for Crows and A Dance with Dragons into a single season posed challenges for Game of Thrones. Tyrion's journey across Essos, his encounters with Daenerys, and his role as an advisor underwent simplifications, losing the thematic depth present in the books. While the show maintains similar plot beats, the crucial internal struggles and moral complexities that define Tyrion in the books are glossed over. The portrayal of his motivations for joining Daenerys diverges significantly, with the show emphasizing noble ideals over the darker motivations seen in the books. The adaptation of Season 8 marks the climax of the disparity between book and show Tyrion. As Daenerys descends into destruction, Tyrion's role in advising her takes a drastically different turn. In the books, Tyrion's deep-seated hatred and desire for vengeance against his family and King's Landing create a complex backdrop for his counsel to Daenerys. The absence of this darker characterization in the show weakens the impact of Daenerys' decision to burn King's Landing, leaving audiences with a sense of emptiness and confusion. The show's portrayal of Tyrion as consistently noble fails to align with the intricate tapestry painted by George R.R. Martin in his books. I've always been intrigued by the fan theory proposing that Tyrion is the secret offspring of the Mad King, King Aerys II Targaryen, making him Daenerys' half-brother. The prospect of this revelation in The Winds of Winter excites me, and it could potentially address the three heads of the dragon prophecy. In the books, another contender for this role emerges when Tyrion encounters young Griff on the Shy Maid, initially presented as the son of the sellsword, Griff. Through observation and a Cyvasse game, Tyrion deduces that Griff is actually Jon Connington, and young Griff is Aegon Targaryen. Aegon shares his survival story, claiming he was swapped with Atanna's son during the sack of King's Landing. While the small council in King's Landing dismisses Aegon as a pretender, Sir Kevan Lannister considers the possibility of his legitimacy, given Jon Connington's past association with Aerys II. However, the absence of young Griff in the TV show raises questions about his significance in the books. If he truly were Aegon Targaryen, one might expect the show to include him. The journey of Tyrion Lannister from page to screen highlights the challenges and complexities of adapting a rich literary narrative for television. The decisions made in character adaptation have far-reaching consequences, especially in pivotal moments. Remember, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the character of Tyrion Lannister, show your support by hitting that like button, sharing this video with your fellow enthusiasts, and subscribing.